So, this download that I received is a message for a collective of people who are beginning to level up. What I was seeing was you have been manifesting, affirming, believing, becoming your new self. So, you're not in base level reality anymore, okay? You've leveled up, higher dimensions, different realms. You're starting to become your ultimate, upgraded, evolved version of you. What you want to be, and leaving the past version behind, okay? So I was shown this vision by spirit, and what's been happening, you've been asking these questions. This is how you'll know it's for you. You've been asking, why are my manifestations not showing up for me? How come this is working for others but not for me? Okay, so in answer to those questions, you're on a different level to these. Okay? Different level. Completely. They are not commanding programming reality. You are. So you're dealing with phantoms, basically thoughts of the mind, psychological. It's a bit like psychological warfare, sabotage, if you will. So imagine yourself, okay, you are stood in a doorway. Okay, in your manifestations, they are 2.5 days away. You may start to see numbers 25, 25, 25, but you weren't able to decode it. So your higher self knows, your God, your goddess self, your Christ consciousness, God creator source self knows. But what happens is when you are around multidimensional beings, okay, different levels of people, different states of consciousness, what's happened is your manifestations, they've not been stopped, they come in, they happen, boom. I said in previous videos, right, you ask, it's immediately granted to you. You just have to continue becoming, being that higher version. So imagine, if you will, okay, you're at that door. And what happens is your manifestation's 2.5 days away, literally, boom. That's not a long time. So, but just as you're about to walk through this door, suddenly you're allowing the mind, the ego mind construct of old self to jump in the way, the phantoms. All of these negative energies and thought processes, the doubt creeps in, the despair creeps in, the longing, the I'm not good enough, all of these kind of bullshit responses that come from the ego, because the ego wants to control everything. But when you are working with the divine and your higher self, you don't need to be controlling outcomes. It's always going to show up more beautiful and more than you asked for. Trust me. So then what happens is you will then have, possibly because you've fed into, because thoughts are energy and they are creating your reality, and based on what emotion, what feeling you are having behind those, it throws it out into the ether, into the in-between, if you will. So you have the manifested, unmanifested, crystallized, tangible, touchable reality in front of you. So you have everything that is around you, remember, as energy, frequency, vibration, everything. So you are witnessing your old story around you, okay? And everything is always moving, ebb and flow. You just don't always see it. I can see all these different ways. If you can't, know that it is happening, okay? So what's happened is you've allowed those thoughts to take over. Oh, what if this happens? What if I'm not good enough? Blah, blah, blah. So you're trying to become your powerful, most authentic self, yeah? But the universe is a very powerful mirror. It's going to mirror back to you. It's testing you. Do you really mean that? Do you really want this? What are you willing to do? Are you going to continue to embody that higher self who you are becoming? It's a becoming. So in one of my posts, remember, union on twin flame counterpart journeys is a state of being, not a destination. Everything in your wish fulfillment archive, if you will, of what you want, it's a state of being. It's a destination as far as you can collapse that time space in between and become that. The more you do that, the universe has to mirror it back to you. But trust me, the matrix will challenge you. It will. You're going to get all sorts of manner of, think of it as viruses. I love computer analogies because basically this is a simulation and you're powerful. All right, so what happens when there's something foreign going on? You're the glitch in the matrix. Okay, you are Trinity or Neo. You are the programmer, not the programmed. You're either the pilot or the passengers. So choose to be the main player character. And don't go back into conformity because it will affect you because of people you're surrounding yourself with, right? So you stood at this door, all of these thoughts come in, take those thoughts hostage and be like, they're not my thoughts. Think of it like this, okay? And I used this analogy when I was on my live the other day, and it is a great analogy. Imagine your mind as a computer desktop. Or your phone, whatever it is you are using, your Black Mirror device. So remember, everything is an illusion, all right? So what you're holding in your hand and what you perceive it to be, you are programming that. So you got some apps on your phone you don't want on there. What do? You bin them off, don't you? You get rid of them. Gone. You've rewritten it. You are the creator. Remember this. You don't have to accept anything that you don't want. So when it comes to thoughts, delete it. It's that simple. Honestly, it is that simple. Stop making it hard for yourself, because when you put these kinds of thoughts out there, okay, so going back to the door, you just carried on walking, living your best life, staying high vibrational, not allowing anyone to plant any seeds of doubt in your mind. If you allow them to plant those seeds of doubt, you're allowing the matrix, the NPCs, the low vibrational people to win. Don't let these energy vampires get a straw and feed off your good energy. They can do it too. A lot of them are soulless. NPCs, yes. But there are people that are learning, souls that are learning. Okay, so this is your way forward. Keep moving forward. Keep believing, trusting. Don't stop believing. Journey, I believe that's from. So those phantoms going back to the door, if you had just stopped for a second and just, it's not a case of fighting them, but you just need to allow them to be and go into the observer, and then the observer of the observer. So then you see where those thoughts are coming from. And then you can identify the source of origin of where these thoughts have come from. Remember, a lot of these thoughts are not yours. There is a collective pendulum of thought. And again, remember, thoughts are energy. And think of all of the minds, right? Thinking. The mind is very, very powerful. It's about being disciplined in your mindset and unshakable. Unshakable. The matrix, Maya, has no choice but to conform. And you will get the results that you want. You need to become it. You need to believe it. You need to be unshakable in it. Your faith, your trust, your belief in God, in source, and your higher self. Know you are guided and protected too. So go back to that door again. All you have to do is keep walking through. Staying high vibrational, believing in what you are manifesting. I said it on my video yesterday. All the shit stuff that shows up, know that it's because it's flooding you to test you. Are you going to react to that? Are you going to react to some NPC that's being a knobhead when you go to the shop? Or are you just going to walk on by and be kind and courteous? That's when you're learning, you're growing and evolving, because you've reacted in a different way. The universe is always testing you for this, okay? Know that the more you work through this, the better and easier you will find it, and your manifestations will show up. Also, this was another thing, all right, and this is a great thing, thank you, Spirit, is if you think in terms of how long it takes for things to grow, think in terms of manifestations, what you were asking for, it takes some production, if you will. All right, it doesn't mean it's been denied. It means it's in the process of being brought into fruition.